Hi there, Becky here from 168 Fitness. Over the past couple of weeks I've been giving you my guilt-free Christmas plan, which aims to help you feel fitter, maybe lose some weight, and just making some room perhaps for the Christmas indulgence that's coming in a couple of months, and just generally feeling better about yourself as we head into winter, because it's a tough time for motivating yourself. So that's what I'm here to do, to get you into a plan, into good habits and feeling the benefits of that. So hopefully you've been taking my advice over the past couple of weeks. If you have started, fantastic. And the main thing is now that you keep going. So I'm going to talk about the plan and the next step shortly. If you haven't started, it's never too late to get started. Even just a week of exercising, doing additional kind of activity or making some changes to your diet you will notice the difference, you will feel the difference. So yeah, get started as soon as you can. Join in with the plan, watch the previous couple of weeks videos if you need to. But yeah, get started so that you really will be feeling the benefits before Christmas. You've got plenty of time still to be feeling the benefits, but you've got to get started at some point. So that will be the first step, to just get started with a plan of some sort. But like I say, if you have already started, fantastic, well done. Hardest thing is getting going, and then you've just got to keep it going over the next few weeks leading up to Christmas, and then you can kind of celebrate with some partying and extra food, etc. So first week I gave you a plan of cardio, toning exercises, alternating each day, and we were talking about sort of 80 minutes of cardio, 15 minutes of toning in total for the week. It's good to spread it out over different days, alternating and trying to do it sort of 6 or 7 days a week. But if your schedule doesn't allow, I did sort of say this last week, try and make sure that it's done as a whole for the week. So even if that means that you maybe fit one walk in the week, Monday to Friday, and then at the weekend you go out for a longer walk with the family or with the dog, and that adds up to 80 minutes in total for the week. That's still fantastic. You may even do more than 80 minutes if you're doing it that way, but always trying to keep that total goal in mind. And then it was sort of 15 minutes of toning, so even if you just did one session of that each week, 15 minutes, you repeat the exercises for 15 minutes, then that's great as well. It's good to spread it out just so that you're feeling good on a daily basis and you're not sort of binge exercising. But when we're talking about sort of maybe smaller quantities of exercise, then yeah, you can sort of do it in 2 or 3 days rather than sort of 6 or 7. So then last week I said make sure that you've adhered to it for the full week. If you hadn't done that in the previous week, that was your goal for last week, to do it in full. So whether it's the total goal you're looking at or doing it every other day, make sure that you've completed it for that week. But then I did say if you had already completed it in week 1, you had followed my advice, the next step was to increase it to sort of 25 minutes and then maybe 12 reps at a time of those exercises, and that would again accumulate sort of 100 minutes of cardio of some sort, whether that's walking, running, mini trampoline exercise, swimming, cycling, whatever it is you wanted to do. You could even count some sort of aerobics classes in there as well, but 100 minutes in total for the week, and then sort of 15 minutes again of toning. If you wanted to up that a little bit, you could do, if you're looking at it as a whole goal. Maybe you're doing a class, keep it consistent at 1 class a week, for example. So then we're in week 3 now. So the next goal would be to up that total cardio goal to 120 minutes or 2 hours in total for the week. So we can spread that out as 30 minutes 4 times a week. So you could do a 30-minute run or walk, or a cycle or a swim, or 4 times each week, 30 minutes. Now obviously if you want to do 45 minutes one time, or 2 lots of 45, and then a half an hour, and you've only got 3 days, that would still add up to 2 hours. Or if you do a longer one at the weekend and then shorter in the week, absolutely fine. But aim to accumulate 120 minutes of cardio, because that's 120 minutes of pretty much pure calorie burning time, and also working your heart, fitness going to improve by increasing the the duration of the cardio, and how much you're doing in total. So you will get fitter for doing that, increasing just by a small amount each week, not just going straight into it doing an hour a day 5 times a week, because you're not going to keep that going for very long. We're trying to do small increases that you can keep going with week in, week out. So 120 minutes in total. And then again, I'm quite happy toning. If your goal is just toning, then you may want to do a little bit more. If you're kind of happy with the weight and shape and size that you are currently, you don't necessarily need to calorie burn too much. But cardio is always good anyway for fitness and just feeling good as well. And as I said, we are trying to make a little bit of room for Christmas indulgence, so it doesn't hurt to do a little bit extra cardio in the build-up. But if your goal is primarily toning, then you might want to do a little bit more than 15 minutes each week. So you could look to do sort of 20 minutes this week, or a class, like I said, if you're doing a class at the leisure centre, then yes, that would work as well. But yeah, you don't need to be doing too much of that in terms of frequency. One class a week, or spreading it out over sort of 3 days would be good. So that's the goal for this week. And then just to get you thinking about nutrition. Now, I think I said this in week 1, I always start clients off with exercise and fitness, because that's the one that's going to make you feel good. The exercise will help you to get the happy hormones circulating around the body, and you'll just be feeling better, hopefully, by doing it. You might feel a little bit tireder, but you'll hopefully be feeling good, getting oxygen pumping as well, and just, feeling positive about yourself. So then that's when you're in a better mindset to be making positive choices with your diet and your lifestyle as well. So this week is more just kind of a bit of a thinking week. Concentrate on the exercise still, but then be thinking about, consciously thinking about sort of the food you're consuming, alcohol maybe if you drink alcohol, or just in general what beverages you're having. You could start to use or be writing down what you're consuming. I like to use MyFitnessPal for tracking food and drinks and energy intake. That always works for me and for a lot of clients as well, just because it's a database. It's a free app that you can get on your phone. It's got a database of foods and drinks in there. You can do it really specifically by scanning barcodes and putting quantities of food in, or you can just do it a bit general and kind of write, if you have scrambled egg on toast for lunch, you can type that in and it will come up with a generic scrambled egg on toast. So it depends how much time or how much you're willing to give information you're inputting into that. But either's fine, because it will just give you an idea of how much energy you're consuming and whether or not you're there with your energy requirements, or if you're eating too much or not eating enough, etc. So just does get you thinking about it, because we kind of all know what food is good for us and what's not so good for us, but we might not necessarily know calories, and that is what it comes down to, unfortunately, with weight loss. You are going to have to be at least more aware of calories, even if you don't want to be calorie counting. You're going to have to be a little bit more aware. You're going to have to educate yourself a little bit on that in order to lose weight. Yes, so this week then, so 120 minutes of cardio in total, 2 hours, and then sort of 15 minutes as a minimum for the toning, maybe 20 minutes, or maybe just joining in a class of some sort, fitness class. And then, yes, being more conscious with your food. Don't necessarily have to change too much this week, but I think you'll start to be making better choices the more exercise you start doing, because why would you go out for a run or go to a fitness class or anything if you're going to eat a Mars bar on the way home from it, or if you're going to have pizza on a Friday night? Why would you do that when you're trying to lose weight, or you're trying to achieve some goals before the end of the year? So it does just get you thinking about actually what you want to achieve and how's the best way to go about it. So that's your homework, is to just start being more aware of it, maybe using MyFitnessPal as a tracker. And then next week I'm going to give you some actual advice on how to improve. But if this week, if you can just be a little bit more conscious, that's going to help you just start to retrain the brain a little bit, so that you're in the right mindset for when I give you some advice. So do that this week. If you've got any questions, please do get in touch, and I'll be back next week with some more advice and week 4 of the Guilt-Free Christmas Plan.